broken that barrier 3 days ago, and we have reached the target of 4.13 lakh passengers per day.
Congress MP Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary sought to know steps taken on the diversion of flood water in West Bengal. The Jal Shakti minister replied that government has given assistance.
Are using pesticides for their paddy field, and also hash and other organs throughout cover the water bodies. The people of Kutanad is using this water. That's why cancer patients are increasing day by day in Kutanad area. So I would like to ask Honourable Minister through you, sir, whether there is any mechanism from the Government of India to avoid to remove the contaminated water and providing pure drinking water for Kutanad area as well as throughout the country.
Honourable Speaker, sir, as you are aware, sir, the government is running a drinking water program in mission mode to provide safe, clean, and with a stipulated quantity drinking water to each and every rural household of the country under the name Jal Jeevan Mission. Water being the state subject, the primary planning, making of the DPRs, augmentation, implementation, operation and maintenance, everything is to be done by the states. We are supplementing their efforts financially or technically if desired. State of Kerala, they are implementing Jal Jeevan Mission and simultaneously to provide safe and clean drinking water and to create an ecosystem of water testing protocol. Under Jal Jeevan Mission, we have taken many initiatives. Throughout the country, we have established more than 2,000 laboratories and NABL accredited laboratories. We have created a platform where the entire water quality data is to be kept. Apart from those 2,000 laboratories, we have trained almost 1.5 million ladies in the country to test the water which is being dispersed in their homes or in their habitations through field testing kits. And simultaneously, we are moving further to establish the IoT-based, sensor-based water testing protocol, which we have established more than a year ago on 100 locations and successfully metering all those. So on the platform what we have created, in last 1 year of time, in 2022-23, more than 75 lakh samples were received, tested, and if they found there is any type of contamination is found, it has been taken care. We have reported states and continuously working with that. So if anybody any assistance for contaminated water which is being treated, also if any assistance is sought by the states, we are ready to give. Otherwise, also in Jal Jeevan Mission, we are giving 10% extra weightage to the quality compromised habitations and the states during allocation of funds.
देखिए, माननीय जल शक्ति मंत्री जी ने हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री जी के हर घर जल नल योजना को साकार करने के लिए पेयजल के क्षेत्र में सराहनीय पहल के लिए हम धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करते हुए जानना चाहते हैं कि हमारे लोकसभा क्षेत्र प्रतापगढ़ के सदर बेलखरनाथ धाम और लक्ष्मणपुर समेत अर्धसैनिक फ्लोराइड्स, आयरन और नाइट्रेट के उच्च स्तर पाने वाली पीने से बढ़ रही विकलांगता और अन्य बीमारियों से बचाव के लिए सरकार द्वारा क्या प्रयास किया जा रहा है?
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, वैसे मैंने पिछले प्रश्न के उत्तर में विस्तार से
बस तो ठीक है, नमस्कार,
कहा है, वही उत्तर फिर कि राज्य सरकार इसमें
नहीं रिपीट तो करना ही नहीं है संसद में। ओके, रितेश पांडे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष जी। माननीय जल शक्ति मंत्री जी ने अभी बताया कि करीब 1 लाख से अधिक महिलाओं को ट्रेन किया गया है, 13 लाख से अधिक महिलाओं, 15 लाख से अधिक महिलाओं को ट्रेन किया गया है। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से ये पूछना चाहता हूं क्या ये महिलाएं जिनको ट्रेन किया गया है, आप इनको प्रोत्साहन के लिए क्या कोई व्यवस्था दे रहे हैं, या इनको आप आगे चल के नियमित करके इनको कोई राशि देने का काम करेंगे ताकि इन महिलाओं को जो है एक हिसाब से रोजगार भी मिलने का काम हो?
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जब जल जीवन मिशन की संकल्पना की थी, उनके गुजरात के अनुभव के आधार पर और स्वच्छ भारत मिशन में जिस तरह का अनुभव हमने अर्जित किया था, उस अनुभव के आधार पर किसी भी योजना को संधारण की जिम्मेदारी, उसको रखरखाव और परिचालन की जिम्मेदारी यदि जनता अपने कंधों पर ले, समाज अपने कंधों पर ले, तो उसे बेहतर तरीके से प्रबंधन किया जा सकता है। और अनुभव ऐसा आया है कि यदि महिलाओं को प्रबंधन की जिम्मेदारी दी जाए तो वो और अधिक बेहतर तरीके से, और मैं मानता हूं कि विश्वास के साथ मैं कह रहा हूं कि मेरी महिला बहनें जो यहाँ बैठी हैं वो निश्चित रूप से इसमें मेरे बात का समर्थन करेंगे कि यदि उन्हें जिम्मेदारी दी जाए तो वो और अधिक बेहतर तरीके से उसका प्रबंधन और रखरखाव कर सकती हैं। इसी अपेक्षा के साथ में समाज जल जीवन मिशन के द्वारा बनाई गई योजनाओं की जिम्मेदारी अपने कंधों पर ले, गांव अपने कंधों पर ले, इस लक्ष्य को लेकर के देश भर के हर एक गांव में जहां योजना बनाई जा रही है वहां 21 जनों की एक समिति बनाना ऐसा प्रस्तावित किया गया और उसे तय किया गया उसमें 50% कम से कम महिलाएं हों और पानी पीने के पानी की गुणवत्ता की जांच महिलाओं के जिम्मे हो। उनको न केवल ट्रेन किया, अपितु उनको फील्ड टेस्टिंग किट्स भी दिए ताकि वो पानी की गुणवत्ता की जांच भी कर सकें और इस भरोसे के साथ में अपने परिवारजनों और परिजनों को पीने का पानी पिला सकें और उपयोग में ले सकें कि वो किसी भी तरह के से उनके स्वास्थ्य पर प्रतिकूल असर नहीं डालेगा। मुझे लगता है कि इसमें कहीं भी जो है ट्रेनिंग के बाद में कहीं रोजगार या ऐसा कोई विषय नहीं है। ये उनकी जिम्मेदारी, वो अपने स्टेट्स जो है असेट्स की और अपने लिए बनाए गए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की जिम्मेदारी लें, इस तरह का भाव इसके पीछे।
क्वेश्चन नंबर 22 श्री जगन्नाथ सरकार। माननीय मंत्री जी, आप जगन्नाथ सरकार क्वेश्चन पूछो, क्वेश्चन नंबर बोलो।
क्वेश्चन नंबर 22
माननीय मंत्री जी
उत्तर सभा पटल पे रखा गया।
माननीय सदस्य
वो मेरा जो क्षेत्र है नवद्वीप स्वयं भगवान श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य से अवतार हुआ, इसलिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण क्षेत्र है। और अभी क्या है, इस वहाँ एम्स हो रहा है और विश्व का सबसे बड़ा मंदिर बन रहा है, इसलिए वो जो विमान परिसेवा के लिए गवर्नमेंट के तरफ क्या स्थिति है, क्या प्लानिंग है, ये मैं जानना चाहता हूँ।
माननीय मंत्री जी।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, ये प्रश्न हमारे यात्रियों की सेवा और उनकी जो कठिनाइयां हैं उनके समाधान के विषय पर है। अगर सांसद महोदय जरूर आकर मुझे मिलेंगे, उस पर विस्तृत हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे।
श्री दयानिधि मारन।
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. Sir, the minister has been very active, and my question pertains to his question that redressing of the complaints received by the passengers. Sir, post-COVID, the air traffic has increased incredibly, and throughout India, every in-city airport is now jam-packed at the peak times. I've been seeing the statements given by the minister to address the problem, but do understand that it's a daily ongoing process, and every day passengers are queuing up just to clear the security part of it, and sometimes passengers are missing their flights because of the traffic. So this is quite concern for all of us, because no steps have been taken. Because you had the COVID time where you could have expanded your security process or expand the area base, but nothing has been done, especially the peak traffic, sir. And the second part of the question, sir, I would like to know, when will you go inaugurate new Chennai terminal, which is nearly ready, so which is very important to us. Thank you, sir.
Sir, the learned member, I would like to add, the question is on customer service and the Air Seva portal. However, the learned member has raised two extremely pertinent and important queries. One is related to the resurgence of traffic in the area of civil aviation. We have, as we are all aware, gone through one of the most turbulent times in civil aviation across the world during COVID, where all planes were stranded on the ground. It's probably one of the industries that was the most worst affected. And suffice to say, because of the policies of the government as well as the desire of customers to travel, we have experienced today a V-shaped recovery. I'd also like to report to this House that pre-COVID in 2019, the highest number of travelers per day experienced in India in its history was roughly about 4.07 lakh. We have broken that barrier 3 days ago, and we have reached the target of 4.13 lakh passengers per day. This talks to a great deal in terms of this government's and the Prime Minister's prerogative of, first of all, democratizing the area of civil aviation, increasing the breadth of civil aviation as well as increasing the depth of civil aviation. That, of course, brings with it issues with regard to crowding at airports. Also, we have to understand that civil aviation has a seasonality to it. The festive season starting from October until February is the peak season. We then have the normal season from March till roughly about May. And then we have a lean season in the monsoon from roughly about June till the end of September. I have had a very detailed meeting with not only our airport operators yesterday, but along with that with immigration, along with that with CISF. And what I have requested them is that we must put in a plan in terms of peak hour planning for arrivals and departures, not based upon just an airport's capability of runway takeoff and landings, but on the whole process capability right from when our passenger enters the airport to when he goes in for security check, to when he goes in for a baggage drop-off and then goes to the gate, and look at the whole process based on which we should manage our number of arrivals and departures in peak hour traffic. So there's a great degree of volatility today. We need to smoothen out that volatility curve. All the airports have pretty much come on board, and very similar to the fog planning that we do in the winter schedule, I have requested them to also do this peak hour planning. Today, as we speak, that process is on, and I'm quite sure that we will be able to manage in India, unlike what we experienced in the US and Europe and many developed parts of the world. When there was a resurgence of traffic, there was mayhem at airports, baggage was getting lost. Our airports in India did a yeoman's job during that process, and even now with this new height of passenger traffic, we will smoothen out that process in the days to come. I'm very confident with our airport operators. Thank you.
Srimati Mahbuba Motra. महबूबा मोत्रा जी नहीं आपने इनके बाद देना आप सब.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir, for allowing my question. Actually, this is related directly to customer service with air service, and I'd like to put the question to the Honourable Minister. This is something where a lot of aged people in India have children staying abroad and travel, say, once a year. Now, for example, if you are buying a ticket from Calcutta on Vistara to London, there is no direct flight, so the flight routes you to Delhi, via Delhi. You purchase a ticket which is Calcutta-Delhi, Calcutta-London. On the way, your luggage is booked through. On the way back, for example, a 75-year-old or 80-year-old couple, on the way back, they have to land in Delhi, wait at the baggage belt, take out their luggage, and then go themselves and rebook it to Calcutta. If you're going on British Airways, on the way through, it's fine. On the way back, for example, if the flight is via Bangalore, they have to be at Bangalore airport at the baggage belt, take out these heavy suitcases on their own, then go and rebook it to Calcutta. For example, if you're traveling British Airways from here to Paris and the changeover is in London, your luggage is booked through to Paris. You don't have to take it out in London. So is this something that we really need to take up with international airlines, that you're having to break this, and older people and disabled people have to face a huge amount of problems taking out luggage themselves, putting it in, so this is something if you could, this is something if we could please take up. Thank you, sir.
एक मिनट मंत्री जी, मेरा इतना ऐसा आग्रह है कि मैं सब सदस्यों को बोलने का मौका देता हूं, पर कई माननीय सदस्य ट्विटर में बहुत जल्दी लिखते हैं कि स्पीकर बोलने का मौका नहीं देता. कम से कम उसका ध्यान रखें कि ट्विटर पे कभी स्पीकर के बारे में न लिखे, अच्छा होगा. माननीय मंत्री जी, माननीय मंत्री जी,
Sir, I think that the member has put forward a very valuable suggestion. We will certainly look into that matter. For us, our elderly folks, our elderly population is an extremely important segment of our population, and it is our job to make sure that traveling becomes seamless and a very flexible process for them. So I shall certainly take that suggestion on board. As far as Mr. Baranji's question, which remained unanswered, which is the B part of his question, let me commit to him that we have a very, very aggressive expansion plan for the current Chennai terminal. We are spending almost 2,895 crores for that expansion plan, and the probable date of completion is somewhere in 2024. As soon as that gets done, we will certainly inaugurate it. Along with that, let me also suggest to him and request him that we would like to build a greenfield airport in Chennai as well. There is a new site that has been co-located between the state government as well as the central government. 4 sites had been offered. We've focused on one, which is Parandur. TIDCO had sent their proposal for site clearance to us. We have reverted to them with comments last month. If you can hasten up that process, it will help us very much.
Shri Shashi Tharoor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think this is an excellent omnibus question covering all the suggestions people are giving for airlines. And I wanted to mention one particular thing, is that the Udan scheme, which of course serves underserved airports, we in Kerala are unable to benefit from this because none of our airports is technically underserved. But there are routes that are underserved or not even served at all. A question is coming up about Coimbatore a little later this morning. So classic example, there are no flights from any airport in Kerala to Coimbatore, even though it would actually be beneficial to people in eastern Kerala, in Palakkad, for example, where Coimbatore is the nearest airport. Could we not extend the benefits of the subsidy provided under the Udan scheme to well-served airports with underserved routes? So, for example, when the governor, Sathashivan, used to have to go to Coimbatore from being governor of Kerala and Trivandrum, he had to fly to Chennai, change planes there and fly back to Coimbatore, which would be almost as long as going by road. And these kinds of things, we could easily have had a Trivandrum-Coimbatore flight, for example. Or indeed routes within Kerala, from Trivandrum up via Cochin, Kozhikode up to Kannur, 4 international airports, which don't benefit at the moment from any Udan connectivity or subsidy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So I thank the honourable member for his question on Udan, which again is not related to the core question, but I'm more than happy to answer that. It is our prerogative under the Prime Minister's leadership, as I mentioned, to both broaden as well as deepen civil aviation in India. Now, if we are to do that, we need to take the call. Are we going to do that with currently well-served airports in the country? Or are we going to both increase the penetration in rural areas as well as deepen that penetration in rural areas? And let me give a couple of examples of that. Many airports that have been wiped off the civil aviation map post-World War II, prior to independence in India, have resurfaced on the civil aviation map, all because of Prime Minister's Ude Desh Ki Aam Nagrik program. In the last 6 years, we have built out 70 airports, waterdromes and heliports under the Udan Yojana. Airports that one would never have conceived of. Rupsi in Assam, Darbhanga, Jharsuguda in Orissa, Kishangarh in Rajasthan. Airports that today give robust connectivity to earlier unserved populations across the length and breadth of our country, ranging between 50,000 passengers to 5.5 lakh passengers each. We have limited resources. Udan Yojana was given 4,500 crores in terms of capex and a viability gap funding program. Within that, today, we have transported in the last 6 years 1.1 crore passengers in our country that probably have never flown before in their lives. We have flown close to 2,15,000 flights in the last 6 years that would have never flown before. We have connected 70 airports along the length and breadth of India. And it is our target. Let me commit to our House. hope that in the next 3 to 4 years, we will connect another 100 airports, waterdromes and heliports in India. Prior to independence, we had, prior to 13-14, we had 74 airports in our country. Today, in a matter of 8 years, we have built out a total of 71 additional airports, waterdromes and heliports, taking it to 145. So we are committed. But it is important to identify what our priority is. Once we increase our breadth, increase our depth, then certainly we will look at these areas without doubt. Thank you.
Question number 23. श्री मलुक नागर जी आगे भी है.
माननीय जल शक्ति मंत्री प्रश्न को पढ़ा माना जाए.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, उत्तर सभा के सदन के पटल पर रखा गया.
माननीय सदस्य.
तो एक तो मेरी प्रार्थना है कि जो प्रश्न आए उसका जवाब या तो शाम को जरूर मिल जाए या सुबह 9 बजे तक जरूर मिल जाए. 11:15 बजे तक जवाब नहीं मिला, यहाँ आके जवाब लेना पड़ा है और 3 पेज का जवाब है. फिर भी मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से जानना चाहता हूँ कि जो माननीय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी का सपना था कि जब बाढ़ आए तो उस बाढ़ को इस तरह पूरे देश में फैलाएं, जो जहाँ सूखा पड़ता है उसको जोड़ा जाए. क्या कोई ऐसी योजना चालू है? अगर है तो कितने प्रदेश उससे पूरे हो गए हैं? और जो इसमें जवाब में 14 जगह बिंदु दिए हैं कि वहां गंगा जी के उस पे हम उसको संभालेंगे जो तटबंध कर रहे हैं, तो क्या बिजनौर जिले को, जिसमें बिजनौर लोकसभा और नगीना लोकसभा आती है, वहां कोई प्रोविजन रखा है? वहां के क्षेत्रीय विधायक जो बीजेपी का ही है, उसने उत्तर प्रदेश में मुद्दा उठाया. 63 करोड़ रुपए सैंक्शन हुए पड़े हैं, नाबार्ड ने सैंक्शन भी कर दिए हैं. तो क्या उनको लगा करके साझे के उपक्रम में कोई ऐसा सरकार का कोई प्रोविजन है जिससे पूरा गंगा जी जहां से निकलती है और आगे तक, और बिजनौर एकदम बिल्कुल उत्तराखंड के सीमा मेरी लोकसभा की मिली हुई है, क्या कोई प्रोविजन ऐसा है?
धन्यवाद माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय. भारत में विशाल देश.
Governments. Now the honourable member is a representative of his state government in his state, in Tamil Nadu. I do hope and I do request him to take up with the same fervour that he has in this house, the same agenda with his state government in Tamil Nadu, because for many, many years we have been asking for almost 627.89 acres of land for Coimbatore Airport to be able to ensure that today Coimbatore Airport, which can only avail of Code C planes to be able to land, which means 737s, and Airbus 320s. We want to expand that facility to Code E aircraft so that wide-bodied aircraft can land in Coimbatore. But that is only possible if the state government gives us that land so that we can expand. And it is my commitment that if that land is made available to us by his state government in Tamil Nadu, then we will certainly expand that airport in the days to come. Honourable Balu Sahab is a very, very senior member of this House, and please let me very respectfully respond to him. It is our effort to increase the runway length from the current 2,990 metres to 3,810 metres so that we can have Code E aircraft. We have represented to the state government many a time over many months and many years for this 627.89 acres of land to be handed over to us so that we are able to do that. If Balu Sahab uses it, sir, if I may kindly respond, sir, I have tried to, sir, if I, sir, if I may be given protection of the House.
Thank you, Speaker, sir. Thank you, Speaker, sir. Through you, I'd like to ask the Honourable.
एक मिनट मणिकम जी के बाद.
Thank you, Speaker, sir. I'd like to ask through you, sir, the Honourable Minister regarding the Madurai Airport's international connectivity. Madurai is the temple city and the gateway to the south of Tamil Nadu. Madurai got its first